Ooh, hey little Timmy, we're gonna play some Shooter Man. Wanna join? No thanks, I think I'd probably be bad at it. Oh, are you sure? We could use one more. Nah, I'm sure Random would be better than me anyway. Oh, okay then, suit yourself.
Hey there! Hey there, Harry Kid. Why won't you play with your friends?
Oh, they don't need me. I'll just hold them back.
Oh, don't be like that.
Oh, it's true. I would love to play with them, but I'm just no good.
But you can be good at games too. I'll even help.
Nah, I think I'll just go eat a banana. Oh, I mean, do you really think I could be better?
Of course, Harry Kid. Just remember to stay positive.
Before we get into the game, let's take a moment to talk about you. There's no quick and easy way to get good at a game. The question now is, what needs to happen to make you want to put in the time? Figuring out what motivates you to play will help you in the long run, but the answer will depend on you. Firstly, you should establish what you think your taste in games is. Think about the games you play, regardless of how ambitious you feel about them. What would you say are the things that initially drew you in? There were some games I've played because they aligned with my own interests, and there were some games that I've played just because I had friends that played them. Now, think about a game you actively want to improve at. What sort of goals do you have in mind? Try to set realistic goals for yourself that you can actively accomplish. For example, trying to reach a certain rank is going to be much more dependent on others. Instead, you might want your goal to be to dedicate a certain amount of time to play the game. Mastering a game will take discipline, so you need to figure out how much you're willing to invest based on what you can manage in your own life. Now, let's talk about mindset. Take a moment now to self-reflect. How do you see your own ability? Do you think yourself to be pretty decent? Maybe the reason you're here now is because you're looking for ways to improve. The way you feel about yourself might be a reflection of your mindset. If you want to learn about mindsets in some more detail, I have a few links in the description. A person with a fixed mindset might have a static idea of what kind of player they are. If they are below the rank they think they deserve, they might feel frustrated or blame others rather than looking at themselves as the only constant factor in their career. They might also be under the impression that you either have the talent for something or you don't, so there's not much use trying to fight it. A person with a growth mindset loves a challenge and understands that you can pretty much do anything you put your mind to. To them, a ranking is just one stop on your journey, and the progression is what matters most. If you want to improve, you need to adapt that growth mindset. Throw your ego aside and focus on what you can do today to be a better player tomorrow.
So, Harry Kid, how are you feeling?
Oh, okay. I guess I've been thinking about it wrong. I need to be more positive, I guess.
That's right. You'll never learn if you don't try.
Oh, but I'm still no good at Shooter Man. What should I do next?
Well now, how well do you know this game?
Oh, not very well.
Well, it's a whole jungle out there, so you need to explore.
People that are good at games aren't good just because of their mechanical skill. They also possess great understanding of the game they play. Before you can be good at a game, you need to learn the game. The problem is that games tend to be quite huge. There can be a lot of content and many times more possible scenarios that can play out. Even at the top level, you can't be sure you've seen it all. The hardest part to grasp is that you don't even know what you're missing. Game knowledge is about understanding the features of the game that have been intentionally implemented by the developers. This can mean characters, items, maps, and all that. It can go pretty in depth, like knowing the exact damage values of moves, or knowing the amount of frames in an animation. Scenarios are situations that you'll get into that build upon that game knowledge. In a game, there's often a lot of variables in play, like characters, positioning, and so on. Your job then is to figure out what you can do to come out of that situation favourably. If you're new to a game, you can get the most exposure simply by playing the game in whatever way you like. Single player modes in competitive games are generally created as a good way of introducing players to the game. There, you'll find plenty of opportunities to learn different parts of the game, like the character roster or through many unique scenarios. You can also gain plenty of exposure to a game without even needing to play the game. Finding your game's community on social media can be a good way to get lots of exposure. This could be places like YouTube, Twitch, Reddit. That said, you'll have an easier time learning the game when you're able to concentrate on the game, so playing the game yourself is usually more effective. You can learn how to respond to scenarios through trial and error. Making mistakes is vital in learning games. The goal isn't to make mistakes, of course, it's to succeed. Mistakes are just what happens when your way of thinking could use some refining. To make the most out of your mistakes, you need to recognize what went wrong and what you should do differently next time. Identifying solutions to mistakes can be very difficult, but there are some tools you can use to help you identify them. Some games might provide match replays, giving you the ability to rewatch a game you've played. Match replays are a useful tool to give you a different perspective so you can see something that you weren't able to see in the moment. It can be really difficult to arrive at the proper solution yourself, so it's usually a good idea to get advice from another player. A more experienced player will have a much easier time identifying areas for improvement, so do try to take advantage of the opportunity if you happen to have that option available to you. To best learn from an experience, the quality of the experience matters. The situation should be reasonably challenging but also realistically solvable. Matchmaking, especially in ranked modes, are usually more focused on finding an even match, so it's the easiest way to find quality experiences. Opportunities to shoot a bit higher might provide an even better experience, so take advantage of those opportunities when you can. The learning process takes time and takes a lot of input. Be sure to take breaks and learn at a reasonable pace so you can digest all the information.
How's it going? How's it going, hairy kid?
Oh, I've been learning the game. I've even been playing ranked.
Great! So what rank are you?
Oh, bronze. Bronze medal was like 3rd place, right? I guess I'm getting good already.
Whoa, calm down there, hairy kid. Sounds like you could use some more perspective.
Oh, perspective? What do you mean?
Well, let's stop playing the game for a moment and have a look at how other people are playing the game.
You may only see games through your own perspective, but there's a whole community of people out there just like yourself. Every learner can be a teacher, so it's important to learn what you can from others. There's many resources available online where people have decided to share what they've learnt with the world, and it can come in many forms. Depending on the size of your game's community, there may be a ton of guides available. We could be talking about general guides to learn basic game principles, or character guides with far more character-specific knowledge. These are good resources you can use to quickly get you familiar with the thing you're looking to learn. Understanding guides does not immediately translate into your ability to do something, so you will need to practice what you've learned. A guide should only be used to help develop your own critical thinking skills. Think of it as training wheels to help you think critically until you understand how to do it on your own. One of the fastest ways to learn is by having a good teacher. Coaching is where one person personally gives tips or guidance to another. There are many people that do paid coaching services, but you don't need to pay up to receive proper coaching. You can learn a lot about a game by networking with other players. It's not a coincidence that those that are able to network with great players tend to be able to play at a high level themselves. I've even seen a few examples of siblings able to compete at a high level. If networking isn't your strong suit, you can still benefit from second-hand coaching. That could mean watching one person coach another through some means like on YouTube, and put yourself into the player's shoes. Think about what choices you would make in that moment, and then think about how that contrasts with what the coach says. Have you ever watched a compilation video on YouTube, or seen something that's really inspired you? I know I have. These sorts of videos aren't usually presented as a guide, but as an exhibition of someone's abilities, or to show off a character's capabilities. These videos can really spark something inside of you that makes you want to have a go. The motivation and inspiration is a great way to boost up your own skills, but there are some things to keep in mind. These videos tend to be highly edited, so they can look a lot more impressive than they actually are. Clips are placed together one after the other, skipping out everything in between, so you might not be able to see any mistakes or inconsistencies in their play. You shouldn't have to feel too dissuaded if you can't match that level of consistency. The players featured are often highly experienced, way above what you might be used to. it's not unusual that you should struggle to get similar results even once or twice. If you're looking for some more realistic cases to learn from, you might be able to find videos or streams of some of the best players in the world going at it. Try and see what they do that you don't. It's entirely possible that they're at such a high level that the things that they do are too difficult for you to even comprehend. Many high level streamers will provide commentary with their play, explaining why they make certain decisions so you can understand their actions a bit easier. An exhibition can teach you how to do and practice something, but it can't tell you the exact scenario you can pull it off. By watching through real gameplay, you can understand how to use certain techniques in the correct context, so you can keep an eye open for similar scenarios.
Are you winning, son?
Oh, I've been following some people online, but I've still not quite got the hang of it. My rank went up to silver, but there's so many people way better than me.
But hey, at least you're improving.
That's true, but I want to play with my friends in gold. Oh, but I keep losing fights.
Looks like your skills could use some work.
How do I improve my skills?
Sounds like you need to learn a bit more about practice.
You probably saw it coming. Practice, practice, practice. Imagine anybody you know that's good at a game and think to yourself, how long has this person played for? Don't just stop at that specific game, think about their experience in the genre as a whole, or even just games in general. Chances are, they've been playing for a really long time. Nobody is born with skill. At some point, everyone you know and respect was once a big, dumb, stupid baby who couldn't even talk right. The time you dedicate matters a lot. While we can study ways to change our thinking and learn more efficiently, nobody can get good overnight. First off, let's try to understand what repetitious practice does for you. You see, learning mechanical skills is a lot more similar to building muscle than you might think. I'll describe it briefly, but I highly recommend the video you see on screen now for more detailed explanation. As you repeat the same actions over and over again, the brain attempts to make the transferable signals more efficient. This allows actions to be performed with more accuracy and speed. This is what is also known as muscle memory. For effective practice, you can improve at numerous actions such as the execution of button presses or the accuracy of micro adjustments. So, practice makes perfect, right? Well, perfect practice makes perfect. If your practice is wrong, then you'll only get good at doing it wrong. You should always aim to improve by finding the edge of your current abilities and always being on the lookout for ways to improve your methods. You could just play a game all day every day, but you might eventually notice that you just don't seem to be improving in certain areas. When we play a game, there are many different possible scenarios that might occur, and some will be far more frequent than others. Just because some are more frequent doesn't mean that they're more important or more impactful towards the end result. Some scenarios might occur that will require you to act quickly and accurately, and you need to be prepared for those situations regardless of how often they come up, as it could change the flow of the game. Practice could also help you find a way to break out of your current ranking by optimizing your abilities further than what is currently being demanded of you. It will be up to you to identify areas to practice. Think about the things that you want to be able to do or that you need to do now. If you're having trouble identifying these areas, record yourself playing or watch a replay if your game supports them. Try to get a few good ideas together or someone else for their insight, as there's always multiple things you can work on. Once you've got an idea of what you can practice, you need to think about how you can practice that thing and if you have the tools available to do so. To effectively practice, what matters is the quantity and the quality. You'll want to practice something that isn't too easy nor too difficult. Doing something easy that doesn't require your full attention may prevent corrective growth from occurring. Trying to do something that is too difficult won't be very productive either if you even struggle to get it right in the first place. If you want to do something difficult, break it down into smaller parts and work on becoming more efficient at those parts individually. Try and make a routine out of your practice, as practicing something for a short period of time won't make much difference. It might take some time to see the payoff, so don't give up too soon if you can't see any noticeable differences. We practice so we can improve our game, but you can't just assume that things automatically get better in your normal gameplay. When you practice, your attention is concentrated on the thing you're practicing. When you're playing normally, there's a lot more cloud in your mind. You need to also practice that skill in its proper environment with the same focus you have when practicing. What you might notice is that you get worse immediate results when trying something new, but that's not unusual. Keep in mind that learning new things can be one step back and then 2 steps forward. Remember, it's not about what you can do to be better today, but what you can do to be better tomorrow.
How's it going, hairy kid?
Oh, it's going great.
Wonderful! What's your rank now?
Oh, Diamond.
Good work!
Yeah, I started to outpace my friends, and I even taught them some of the things I learned. And it's all thanks to your advice.
I'm glad I could help.
Oh, well, I got practice for the big monkey tournament coming up. Bye-bye, mysterious voice.
Farewell, hairy kid. Wait, monkey.
Hi, thanks for watching. I've been working on this video for a good few months now, so hopefully it was worth the effort. I tried to make it both educational and entertaining. You can see with the whole monkeys thing, it kind of came in at the last second because I realized it wasn't entertaining enough. Any sort of feedback would be very much appreciated. You can just leave some comments down below. I will hope to make similar content in the future, probably on a smaller scale, with more specific topics. But in the meantime, what you can do is come to my stream, which is live sometimes, where I pretend to be a socially functioning person, because I am still a big dumb stupid baby who cannot even talk right. Until then, bye bye.